Hello and welcome, as it is the 5th day of March 2018. I almost said May, and it is a Monday. Welcome to this Litecoin update, and of course everything you do is within your own risk, own reward. The LTC BTC daily time frame. I have these lines drawn in, and they have been for quite some time. The move which occurred, the rally on February the 23rd, 3 green candle move up, which started from around the 18 average of lows. On its second day, it managed to make it up to the 18 average of highs, where it did not find resistance. And it's also at that Fibonacci level at the 212 handle. And a decent sized green candle thereafter, making a lower high, but for what it's worth, matching one of the previous area. Yes, it did pierce below it, but in the real exact area of where it was before, and at a big Fibonacci point as well. And what I was stating when this occurred was what's important would be around this this mark around here. You see how where it needs to hold, or needed to hold rather, at around the 205 handle, did not. And it has been 1, 2, 3, 4 straight down days in a row, with starting from the 26th of February down to the 1st of March. A sideways consolidation thereafter. Another down day. So you'd almost say that's 5 down periods in a row, not counting days that are ties. Days that just pretty much stay where it was the day before, which today's session and yesterday's session are pretty much ties as well. So the last 5 significant moves were down days after 3 consecutive significant up moves. We have already seen resistance come in at the 18 average of lows. This did such on the session March the 3rd. And it occurred with also previous support, key Fibonacci level, so big areas all together working in harmony. It is looking more probable, by looking at this chart, that price action should have a move down to this 167 handle, but pierce it below. Fibonacci downside from this low and this high is 1633, coinciding with another Fibonacci level. And the move differential to get there would be that of about 18 basis points from where it stands, or that of 10% down. So now I have to ask myself the question, what's most likely at this stage? 1, a move next that will hit the 167-ish time frame, of course down about 10%. Or a move that would be about the equivalency to the upside, and that would be to around the 200 number. So a pierce, a noticeable pierce above this line. I would have to think that it's more likely that it will hit the down move first. But with that being said, if it does manage to come up to this 200 point that I talk about, then it's almost a wildcard situation, because it shouldn't go here if it's going to go down. It could very easily resist a little bit further before making that move as it is anyway, meaning 167 could come into play and do such with a rally first. Because a lot of times with these cryptos, if a move is going to fail, you get indications pretty quickly thereafter. Because we've seen here 3 days down and how it didn't hold where it was supposed to. So if any rallies up forth come into play, then I'll be looking at the same. We look at more data. I mean, this move is all part of a long sideways consolidation, and it's holding to dear life right now. I don't know what term to use, but I'll use that one. It's holding the floor, or it's holding the floor of the second level, or the bottom, or the ceiling of the first level, as the 167 mark represents pretty much about a 61% retracement from the lower end of this to where it is now. And it would still be a noticeable higher low from this point. Because when you look at patterns of higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, or matching, or whichever you suspect, sometimes they're easy to predict if it's going to be a higher or a lower variable. For example, rally's market goes up from 0055 to single 020 or 4x gain without any move down. It was pretty safe to say that the next move would be a higher low from, of course, the 54 handle. Okay, so we've seen we hit a low, twice hit at 132. It was first hit here, after, of course, this mark, and then again twice. So now here we stand after another higher high from this one. Question is, will it make that of a higher low? Because even if it does manage to make it a down towards here, 160, that would still be enough to keep it in some nice bullish situation. And we'll just see stuff like the 3-day and the 18 average and what it would present to the market. Unfortunately, sometimes it takes a little bit to load at times. Not too often. Maybe let me just fix this. And it seems to be my Wi-Fi, which is really weird because it's going crazy when I look at it. There's one internet connection that's somewhere in this area that is somebody else's. It keeps going off and on. And this one that I'm connected to has a 2.4 gigahertz and the 5.0. I'm running the 5.0. And the 2.4 just keeps on shutting off and on, which is really weird. But anyway, internet is working fine. And I can complete this video without the internet from here on in anyway. But yes, I wanted to go to the 3-day chart. The internet should do this quick. Yeah. So here we have support right now at the 18 average, still holding below. The weekly chart should come in line with this this line here, which we can see that it would, especially if, of course, it can take maybe 1 or 2 weeks to get there. And oftentimes if it pierces below, that would make more sense that this week it might come down to it. The 18 average of lows is 156, 157, because these levels are usually pierced extra as it is. And even as far as this is concerned, I would be a little concerned if the price does not hold this 18 average of lows too well as it's playing. But I always play what I feel is the best risk reward within this situation. So whether I'm holding Bitcoin or Litecoin as my majority, then I'm taking a chance either way. And because I feel like 90% confident this crypto game is going to work, but not 100%. And that's why every so often I like to turn the cryptos into physical silver as like tail risk, as Ben Bernanke would put it. Just in case something bad happens, at least at the end of the day, I can know, okay, well, at least I got these few 100 ounces of silver, hopefully turning it into thousands and thousands as the days, weeks, and months move on. Because, like, again, I'm very confident within this market. And if Litecoin is my main holding, well over Bitcoin now, I might as well keep it that way and try to aggressively increase my Litecoin, which is why I've made this spreadsheet. What this spreadsheet is, I've showed it a few times, and I've added a bit more things towards it, definitely a lot more codes, and put them in alphabetical order. So Black Coin, Cloak, Dash, Komodo, Core Coin, Lomo Coin, Nexus or Nexium, Omi's Go, Potcoin, Voxel's Vertcoin, Extra Bytes, ZEC, and Ubic. So on this, I got the price against Litecoin. This is the price at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today. How much it gained or lost against Litecoin. So the big gainers on the day was Ubic, LMC. Well, they're really the only ones that gained anything. The big loser, Core down 15%, but that's because it's retracing from big gains. Biggest plays for the week, we got Cloak up 68% against it, and I only got the coins that I'm liking to trade, and these codes are just going to keep going higher and higher, making it a little bit more work each day to put the values in, but it's sometimes hard work gets paid off, and a lot of times it does. Core up 72% for 10 days, Lomo at 27, and really the only ones losing right now are Extra Bytes and ZEC against that of Litecoin. So those ones are losing a little bit more value over this time. I've put all these numbers so I can see them in 4 digits. Of course, when there's crossovers and there's one on here, which is this one in here, that means I have to either, well, this one's got 3 digits at 901 for the 18 period low. This one has got 1384 for 4. So if this thing goes well high, then I will adjust this low to go to 4 decimals so I can see 4 digits. And if it breaks down from here, then I'll adjust it later. But that's what this, just to give me an idea of the highest and lowest prices over the last 2.5 weeks. And then whatever days if you're wanting to do something like this, whichever one is important for you. The extension just lets me know where or how far it is from the 18 average of closes. So when it's very high against the number you're looking to sell, generally speaking, on the positive, you can see these maxes can get past 100%, definitely at least 50 or 60. And on the negative, so that means if it's like, well, at these 28, 21s, that just means you're looking to get small sells in. Of course, that depends on its long-term play, because this only tells you just one small indicator. And the last trade, I think, is very important for me. So I know just by looking at this, exactly what to do next. So Cloak, I sold at the 78.05 handle, which I know it's 74.18 now. So I'll be looking to sell again if it can gain a decent amount. So I'll go from like 78 handle to like 110 or 120 or 12,000, depending on how you want to look at it. And if it goes down, well, once we're looking at 4,000 prices or anything cheap, yeah, gonna want to buy back. I got 2 other sales in here. I got Core, which I did 2 sell orders on such, with the last one being at the 43.26 handle, down to 2,459. So again, I want to wait till under 2,000, especially the more buys I get in a row, the more extended it is, the more I'm looking, or the bigger of a down move I want to buy back. So if I just have one sale, then maybe a 35% decline is good enough for me. But if I do like 1, 2, 3 sales in a row, even just 2, then the last sales need to have some decent declines. And then finally, I added the NXC into it. I can't add any. There's no other recent sales that I've had that I can do this. But I just noticed a couple days before I started that it sold off. So it was at 14.77, now down to 12.76. If anyone is interested in information on how to do a spreadsheet like this, let me know, because if not, then I won't go over too much more. You have to have a pretty good idea of spreadsheets to do something like this. I'm working with multiple tabs, but just different little miscellaneous things that if you're like, well, how in the world did you set it up so that you get the price automatically so easy? Do the 18 high, even how they do the extension, or even the big thing is, if I want to put a new code in, and I've been putting a decent amount in, how fast is it for me to do? And quite frankly, it's very fast, because what I will do is I will download the data from where I get it. I get it from cryptocompare.com. And then I will paste it into I'll paste the data on columns. I'll go to just a random one like POT. I'll put the data in columns A and B, which is the date and the Bitcoin price. And then the data that I have on here, so sell like D1 to like AG1000, I'll just copy and paste that all the way to another one, and the data is really, all the calculations are there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'd like to, I think this will work a lot better as a Litecoin holder for me to look to make most of my trade executions for that against Litecoin. Now, in situations where, say, they both go up nicely together at the same time, then I think you might have to just say, you know what, trade it against Bitcoin. Meaning, let's just say a code like Omi's Go. Say on one day or 1 week even, rather, the price of it triples against Bitcoin, or better yet, it doubles, because that might be a bit more realistic, maybe 140% increase. Yet Litecoin, say, does a similar one, maybe 120, 160%, which means the price really won't change too much. And it definitely won't be giving me sell signals on this. But I would realize that because Litecoin is going up, if it's going up that much, I'm going to want to sell some of my Litecoin. What am I going to want? I'm going to want Bitcoin. US dollar tether? Not anymore, although it probably would work out for me. And altcoins. Because if Litecoin goes up 130, 150, 180% over a significant period of time, like a day or a week or something quick, then it's a good chance that I'm going to be seeing on here a lot of big red numbers. Minus 30%, minus 40%, minus 60%. And it's just going to be buy. Where do I get the Litecoin from? I'm going to be selling it if it's going to have those kinds of gains. That's where I get it from. All right, then. So I think that is it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.